Hi, so I'm Marcy at Spaghetti and Spanx. I just quickly wanted to introduce myself. I took an informal poll last night on Twitter, and apparently 84% of you don't love videos posted on blogs, and I'm doing it anyhow. Sorry, I'll be brief. I didn't have a lot of time, and to be honest, I was dying to try out the video feature on my iPhone. So I decided to just introduce myself, tell you a little bit about Spaghetti and Spanx, and then throw in a random fact or two. I'll start with one random fact, because you'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm terrified of Botox. I wish I wasn't, because I am a really, really animated speaker. And even right now, while you're watching this, involuntarily, your whole face is mimicking mine, and you're gonna end up with this really creasy, wrinkly brow line. So that's the random part of me. If you know any solutions, moisturizers, treatments, anything non-surgical, non-Botoxy, I'd love to hear it. Okay, and now for Spaghetti and Spanx. I know that I am not saving children in Haiti or doing charitable work here, but it's still really important to me. I've spent a long time, half my life probably, trying to ignore my weight, but it keeps coming back. It prevents me from doing things, which is ridiculous. And so I was hoping that with Spaghetti and Spanx, I could finally figure it out. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm enjoying it. I love it. I love the feedback that I'm getting. I like that I am not the only one who's going through this. I know I'm not, obviously. It makes me wonder, though, who owns fat? Because I'll use that word to describe myself. But maybe that annoys people. I'm sure it does. I don't know. I know that when I look at someone who's much smaller than me, a size 4, a size 6 girl, hell, even a size 12 girl these days, and they call themselves fat, I sort of roll my eyes and go, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. But a couple of months ago, I made this really, really awful comment on Twitter, and I felt awful. And luckily the girl who I made it to was really gracious and sweet about it. But basically a colleague of hers found out she was attending an event where people who she had not met in real life would be for the first time. And her colleague said, I'm surprised you're going because everyone will find out that in real life you're fat. And she was horrified. And she told a bunch of us about it on Twitter, and we were all disgusted. And it was really awful, and so we all commented on it. And then right at the end, a couple of the girls said, well, when we meet you in real life, we're gonna give you this great 5-minute hug. And I'm not a hugger. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not a hugger. And I wanted to lighten up the mood, and I said something really tasteless. So I wrote back and said, well, I'm not into hugs, and from the sound of it, we wouldn't be able to wrap our arms around you anyhow. And then I hit the send button. And it was awful, but I apologized, and she was really gracious, and she knows I'm talking about it today. But it made me think, am I not one of the tribe? Like, what number do you have to be? What feeling do you have to be? So I wish none of us were part of the tribe. I wish that we all just felt great. That isn't a feeling. I've heard that before. I'm not sure I'm convinced of it. But anyhow, I hope you don't take offense to what I said. She didn't. It was tasteless. I guess I'm just admitting to it to you today because I hope that we can all get over it. I want to get over it. I don't want to feel fat anymore, regardless of what size I wear or the number on the scale, which I did throw out, by the way. So I promised to keep it brief, and I didn't. Take a minute to look in the mirror. You'll probably see that you now have the same crease I have. I hope you'll follow along on spaghettyandspanx.com, and I'd love to hear what you think.